So I was on the internet the other day, doom scrolling through Facebook like I usually do. Although, to be fair, it's not really doom scrolling in this case. At least I tell myself that, because I often find some interesting stories to cover here on the Chronicle group of websites. And football is one of the biggest ones, of course. I get a lot of news really when it comes to football on there. And a story that really caught my eye was regarding AC Milan over in Italy and how they've become the first side among the European elites, as the Post puts, to introduce an innovative maternity policy for its female players and other members of staff as well. So when we say European elite clubs, I think we're probably referring to the top 6 in England, so Manchester United, Man City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea and Liverpool. The big 3 in Spain, Atletico de Madrid, Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. Bayern Munich and Dortmund over in Germany, Paris Saint-Germain in France, and of course in Italy, AC Milan, Inter Milan and Juventus as well. So I imagine it's among that group. That is what we usually mean when we say the European elite. Basically those 12 sides that try to make their own league and break away, or at least most of the 12 anyway. I know the German ones and the French ones didn't want to do that as it was in the end, but they did get the invite. But anyway, let's go to this maternity cover, because I think this is something that needs to be spoken about, you know, because at the end of the day, people don't really realize how difficult this is, particularly men, obviously, because we don't get pregnant. Simple as that. That's just a fact. Although some people these days will probably dispute that. But let's not get into gender politics. Let's not do that. You know, particularly for a physical job as well, like being a footballer, you know, it's a very difficult one. It's not just the 9 months or so that you're pregnant. Of course, I'm sure some female players do play while they're pregnant, especially early on, because the effects aren't too big at that point. The danger really isn't there. But, you know, as things goes on, obviously, then they need to have maternity cover after the baby's born, because it takes a while to recover. Some women give birth and they're literally out of the hospital the same day or the next day, which I always find stunning, but there are complications that can happen. Speaking as someone whose son was born very early, I know what those complications can be like, and that does necessitate a long time in hospital, and the recovery can last months, in some cases even years. It can be really, really tough. So any kind of help that mothers can get when it comes to this is always a good thing, and I think I need to highlight this, and I need to shine a spotlight on this here on the footballchronicle.com, because that's what I like doing. I like bringing you these stories, particularly when they're quite good ones like this. This is a positive one. Who can make this into a negative thing? I'm sure some people out there might try, but good luck to you, because you'll need it. But basically, this is what happens here. So players will receive an automatic 1-year contract extension on the same terms if their deal expires during the season they become pregnant. So if they're in the last year of their contract, female footballers for the female side of AC Milan, they will get a year contract extension automatically if they are pregnant during the last year of their contract. So basically that prevents the female players from having to, you know, basically be a new mother and not have a contract for that year. So that's a good thing. And I'm sure some people out there will be like, oh, women's footballers, aren't they really well paid? No, not really. I mean, some of them are for sure, but not all of them. So, you know, they're like me and you, they're paycheck to paycheck or something near there. They can't just not work for a year. They run out of money pretty quickly, a lot of them. The club will also provide childcare during sports activities and cover travel expenses, including flights and accommodations for the player's child and one companion. So it also covers the other parent as well, which is great. This is fantastic. You know, childcare is a big thing. I don't know what it's like in Italy, but I know here in the UK, it is extremely expensive for childcare, and it's very, very difficult to find a good one as well. I got quite lucky with mine, I'll be honest, but a lot of people don't have those kinds of options, so there is that as well. So I think this is great. This should be a standard thing across top professional clubs, you know, top division or maybe even second division female clubs across Europe, really, particularly here in England, because our women's championship is actually not too bad, really. The Super League over in England as well is pretty damn good too. So there's no reason why they can't do it. The money is there for it, and I feel like we should support them like that. If we want more women to get into football, then having these kind of assurances will definitely do that, because, you know, passion is great and all, but it doesn't pay the bills. Yeah, you know, it's simple as that. So you got to make sure these people are safeguarded, and I think this is fantastic, really, because it's not only covering them, it's also covering the child and their partner if they have a partner too. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. I think it's a very positive thing. I don't know how you can make a negative spin on that, to be honest. And of course, if you want to see more stories from the world of football, do keep it tuned here to thefootballchronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell as well. And we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.